Ho, ho, ho.
How you doing, Ol? BarCast.
Ho, ho, ho.
BarCast. BarCast.
Welcome, everybody, to the BarCast. It is the Christmas special, and of course, it is me, Mark, and my co host, Mr. Chris.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, it's an interesting year.
Interesting, you could say that again.
I'll tell you what, though, it hasn't snowed as much as it has previous years, I've noticed, or is it just me?
I think it's still fairly early December, but yeah, it's not snowed yet. It's not even had a lot of frost yet. I
No.
think I've frosted over twice so far. I'm
I
sure
think we've had.
last year we had more by
Yeah,
this
because there was
point.
one day that I was walking back and you could feel like literally the grass, like
Mm.
the crunch of it. This is
And I
snowing
love
up.
the crunch.
It's
Like
like eating like a good
crunch.
biscuit. Or Kit Kat. Kit Kat used to be good for that, didn't it? I used to
Yeah,
snack.
got a good crunch on that.
Mm.
But yeah, but it's it's the festive period.
It's
Obviously,
weird. It's weird. It's this
yeah,
one.
I mean, it's, being at Christmas, normally people would have traditions, but COVID's kind of thrown that out the window.
Mm.
So, what sort of traditions like do your family have?
So a lot of them used to do like playing board games. Concepts of like we've always played games during the Christmas time. Gamers and we've played games. So no change there. But if you could imagine like D&D games, we've had one that was like a mansion, and like you went in as like ghost hunt as a team, and then at one point one event would trigger where one of us becomes the creature, and then there's a different win and like lose elements. So we played that game last year, and then this year hopefully we might have a few different games that play. Like I've got a Fallout board game, like a Wasteland, where like you do stuff. So we might try that one. My
Okay.
that's my traditions. It's more of people come together playing games than it is anything else. But how about you, Chris?
Um, my family and I, we've got sort of like a set routine for Christmas
Hmm.
Day. Get up, bacon sarnie. Even though I don't live with my parents anymore, I will still get up on Christmas morning and have myself a bacon sarnie. Um,
Oh, that's nice.
uh, you know, middle of the afternoon lunch. We have steak for dinner normally. We don't really do turkey.
That's fair
Like
enough.
none of us are like big turkey lovers, so steak for dinner.
Hmm.
um, all the other trimmings are the same. It's literally just steak instead of turkey.
So obviously it works better because, as you said, like turkey is not for everything, and unless you cook it in a type of way, it can be dry.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas steak is steak.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
From there, always watch the Queen's speech. It's always
Uh,
interesting to see what Her Majesty has to say. And
mm,
then we all like, if we've got games, we'll play. Like if we got games on the day, we'll play those new games.
mm.
Other than that, we just like chill out in the evening, and we'll have some roast ham for like evening supper. And then in recent years, I'd go home, I would just like watch a movie to myself.
That's fair. Yeah.
And then my other tradition is with my other friends, I like Talia and that lot.
Mm.
We would get together. We'd get into my flat. This would be the third year running if we could have done it. Um, COVID.
Yeah.
But no, I would cook, and we'd do like a big sprawl and we'd do presents there and play games
Mm.
with each other there. So yeah, it's like collective.
Yeah, which is a good thing because you do want to have a chilled one because if you're always working too hard during the Christmas thing, you don't associate it as being a good thing. It's more
Mm.
stress that you don't want.
Also, if it weren't for the 3 or 4 days that I get off over Christmas, like where I do actually get to enjoy, because like every year so far I've worked up to middle of the afternoon Christmas Eve, and I'll be back in the office 3 or 4 days later. So
Yeah, that's what we've done before. Like, obviously for me, I'll do Christmas every other year on board the vessel. But like usually what we used to do, obviously until COVID, is we'd be doing Christmas Eve until maybe like 6. Let's say the last ship gets into Dover by about 6 o'clock.
yeah,
And then all the travellers get off, and then the only ones that will stay on board will be like us that live on, that just keep it going, ready. And the only day that we've ever actually stopped sailing at all, and nothing going, would be Christmas Day. The next day, we'll literally be sailing again. But yeah, so it's quite interesting, because it's like you think one of the busiest shipping lanes.
yeah. Well, what do you do on Christmas Day then, if you're not doing any?
So usually it will be like sometime. Used to be when people used to invite their close family on. So like if it was myself, it'd be my folks and my sister. But I couldn't exactly invite my uncles or anything that far away. So it gives people a chance to have their families come on. Myself, I rather not have people come on, because the process of getting on, and you don't spend too much time, and in theory, I'm still working, because I'll be serving all the food, and
You'll be serving all
used
the
to
other
be,
family.
I would serve the drinks, but obviously now it's officially gone dry. But you used to have families come on, spend time, have games. We still do that. If like some crew would just get together and like have like bingo, play a few games, and stuff like that. So we come together as a family, but obviously you need people still on the ship for like movement and that, and moving it around. So every other year, basically, I'm on there. But it's a trade-off. If I'm working Christmas, I've got New Year off. But if I'm working, I've got the other. So it swings around about. But then I'll celebrate Christmas when I get back off anyway.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Obviously, speaking of New Year and keeping on traditions, have you ever like a set thing you do in New Year?
No, surprisingly not. I know people do have traditions. There's like some interesting ones where the first person that walks into your house will bring like just a bit of charcoal,
Yeah, that sort of
like
stuff.
whiskey or something. It's like the first person to walk in. I remember doing that with ex's family. Like I brought a bottle of whiskey, a bit of coal, because they didn't know that, but because I thought I was the first person entering their house, I thought it sounds interesting.
Yeah, no, I've never had anything set either. I mean, when I was younger, I used to, I'd go to all the parties with my parents. So I'd go to the neighbours and celebrate with them, or celebrate with a family friend. But when I got a bit older, I didn't really have a set thing. Last year, I was in Croydon. Like I've celebrated with various people. This year, I'm not actually going to see anyone to celebrate. And not because of, it's partially because of COVID. But I could have seen my support bubble, because living alone, I do have but no, this year I've decided to stream.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's my normal stream night. So I've decided that from 7 p.m. right through to 1 a.m., I'm going to be streaming this year. Do something new, have a bit of fun, and hopefully that way I can be as social as I would be normally without having to be at risk.
Yeah, that's quite a noble thing of doing a stream, and you can have quite fun with that as well.
Exactly.
There's always going to be people that are going to be watching and see what people are doing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my New Year's plan. I guess your New Year plan will be watching me.
I'm on the ship.
Oh no!
I am. I'm back at work.
No.
This year.
Well, if you're not on night, you might pop on for a little bit.
Yeah, that will do. I've got no idea what they're going to put me on days or not. But we'll find out.
We'll find out. Sticking to Christmas, like, what's your favourite Christmas memory?
Oh, I think it is probably when I was a kid, what my folks used to do. So, like how when you're young, you would put like milk on like maybe carrots or biscuits for like Santa Claus, for example. Well, what my my folks did was they would, I think it was flour, or it might have been casting sugar, but they would make a little print on the carpet of my room of like a little, either like a reindeer or like a footprint of like where like Santa's been, and then I've like had like a carrot snapped a bit off, like it has, or probably bitten into it, and like had a bit, so it looks like he's actually
visited,
been there, and it was just so sweet because it was like one of the best memories I have is like you would wake up, and obviously everyone thinks, oh, you wake up, it's present. You wake up and like this is what you see, like something that looks like snow that's in your house, and you think that's magical. That is something that you just wouldn't expect. And it came out of nowhere when I first saw it, and it kept doing it, and it was just so cool. So that's probably one of my best memories of it, because I could say opening gifts and like seeing people, but the fact that they went to that level, it was really sweet, but you didn't realise it until much later on. So that's mine, and it's something, if I do have a family, I will do that as well.
Yeah, that sounds dope.
Regardless of what anyone says, I'm going to be doing it because it's a pretty sweet idea. But how about yourself, Chris? What about yourself?
See, I don't really have, like, Christmas Day with my family was, I already told you my tradition, but it wasn't exactly like a big thing. So I don't have any like I got the fond memories of like spending days with my parents and all that. And they were nice. They were enjoyable. I did have a lot of fun. But honestly, my favorite one is from Christmas 2 years ago. My first Christmas in my flat. It was the first Christmas where I wasn't spending the whole period with my family.
Oh yes.
Instead, that year I had there was 8 of us at the table. So I had 7 friends over, and it was the first time in quite a few years where I got genuinely so giddy, I cried.
Yes.
Like, I was so full of warmth and love and happiness and food and just all the good stuff. Like, I just couldn't help just be that friggin' happy.
Which is very good. And I guess it's extra touch because when you think about it, obviously there is your family, but then there's the family that you also choose.
Exactly. The blood of the confidant is thicker than the water of the womb. Family I've chosen meant more to me than the family I was born with at this point. Because, like, as I said, I just felt like that genuinely happy feeling. Like,
yeah, because you know when you've got a sound bunch, and I fully understand that because it's like my ship family, even though we're not all working at sea anymore due to obviously what's happened. But yeah, they're like my seconds. They know about me, and we've each got different past experiences, and it could be a month, so I can go over and see them, and it'll be like nothing's changed. So obviously, because it is the Christmas time, there is one thing that is the main point. Like when you give gifts to people that you care about, and when you get to know people, it could be easy or it could be hard. Like, for example, let's say you know someone that has everything that they want. It's the worst thing because you're trying to think, oh, what can I get them? What would be useful? And then when you really think about it, personally, I just think get them something that they might like. So for me, I've got pretty much the likes of yourself, Scott, and Max stuff like to build, because I've been creative, you guys are creative, so I've always made a habit of getting something where you guys can build.
Yeah. Just.
Oh, you guys got me back though, so fair
Scott
play.
got you back.
You gave me a puzzle of over 1,000 pieces.
Oh yeah, I did.
You got me back as well, and that was quite hard.
Oh yeah, it was a tricky puzzle.
Yeah, you got me that, and it was. I remember when Scott got me the little one of these Deadpool like mini things. I think I might.
I find that you're actually quite good at giving presents.
I can't find it. I don't know what I've done with it.
Yeah, I feel like you're quite good at getting presents for people. I feel like you're a gift getter.
Yes.
Whereas it's almost like, it's kind of like your love language is you like being able to give people gifts.
Yeah.
Like that's you. That's your thing. Like, I remember it from your ex as well. Unfortunately, that wasn't their language. So sort of lost communication there. But that is your love language. Yours is actually gift getting. Yours is gifts. You thrive on being able to treat people.
Yes, yeah.
And it's always evident. Like, even on lads' nights, you're just like, oh, I got this for lads' night. I'm just like, oh my God. We only needed like 2 things, not 50. But whereas me, I am terrible at getting gifts. Like, it takes me forever. Because I genuinely don't know what I can get people.
I got to admit, it can be hard.
No, it not can be. It's always hard.
I think it's like because everyone, because you might overthink too much. I don't know if it is the case. You might overthink of something too much and like be like, how is this going to affect them?
No, I just can't think of it. I'm like, my brain literally goes numb.
It's not a bad thing.
I'm good at. I'm always shocked at what people get me, because they're like, oh, I know Chris really well. He would love this. And I'm like, I know these people really well, but I have nothing. Like, honestly,
there is one thing though. You might not necessarily always be good at, like, say, getting gifts, as you said, but your cooking, on the other hand, you make a very, very good dishes.
Oh yeah.
And if you think about that is a gift in its own right.
Yeah, I do generally cook the Christmas dinner for my group. But when getting gifts for my group, I'm like, any hints? Like, of our friend group, I would say you and Max are the 2 best gift getters.
Oh, we get good ones.
As in, you're good at getting gifts, and Max is surprisingly really good at getting gifts. Like, honestly, when we've got the big group get together, like when he gets gifts for people, it's like he always goes overkill, and it's amazing. We also feel really guilty for what he's done. Like, why? Like, Scott's pretty good at it as well, actually. He's quite creative in what he thinks. And he goes, and then there's just me. He goes, you like this, you get this. I'm like, quite basic. Or I'll just go, what can I get this person? Like a few of my friend group, they've gone, right, Chris, we want something along the lines of this. Or they'll just go, we want this. This is what we want. I go, I can do that. That I can do. It's literally the same with, I don't do subtle hints. I need to be told.
I get that. I get that being done. I do, because that's what my love life is like. Someone has to be blunt about it. I get that with like hints and anything. It has to be straightforward. There's no, oh, let's go around this way to try and say, or let's mention this. No, be direct.
Get to the point. I'm also like that at work. Like, Oh, could stop skirting around the question. Just tell me.
I'm not up like that. Because when someone's nice, think, okay, what do you want? Just say it. And it's either yes, no, or maybe.
Or not right now, because I'm doing something else.
No, it's one of those things. But as I said, I'm good at giving gifts, but I absolutely struggle when people ask me, "What would you like?" Because it's like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. People are, Chris, what do you want? I'm like, It's also the fact that normally if I want something, I normally get it.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't often want something.
Mm.
Like, there's one thing I want to work on next year, and that's personal image. I want to shake up my wardrobe because it is very basic. And for someone who's as flamboyant as myself sometimes, I need to shape up my image a bit.
You want to express yourself.
Yeah. So I need to work on that next year.
Actually, it's funny enough. That's what I've been doing this year. So I've got more of the stuff like Viking. Like I've got Viking shirts, and I've got more
Viking side of yourself.
So for me, I'm going more into what I like to wear, and it's not normal standard like the shirts that I've got, which are like the like Scottish like kind of things where they've got the thing, the lines, roll them up, roll them down, love it to pieces, and I think it suits me. It suits my body, so I'm definitely going in that line, and it's like more Norse than anything.
So we've been talking about like gifts. We've spoken a fair bit of Christmas stuff, but obviously with Christmas comes New Year. It's only a week later.
Yeah, literally.
It literally is the following week.
Hmm.
So with New Year comes resolutions.
Oh, yeah.
We covered New Year's resolutions earlier this season. However, that was September, I believe.
Yeah.
So, what are you thinking about next year? Are you setting yourself anything?
Yeah, I am actually now setting myself a few targets. So similar to what you were saying about your like said next year, like you're saying you want to introduce your style.
Yeah.
Mine's going to be more like that. I'm going to start getting stuff which might not look normal to people, but it says a lot about my character, and it's one way I can express myself. So I'll be going more in that way. When I was doing my diet, which I haven't kept up lately because now it's the season, so I kind of not kept up with it, but I was losing like at least 2 stone. So
I might have to join you on that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm thinking of weight loss again, and with my diet that was working for me and the exercise that I was doing, I'm hopefully similar to what you're doing, like when you were going down to your ideal way. Me, I'm gonna try to stick to the new diet I've got more throughout this next year, because obviously I've done it for a couple of months now. Notice a change. I'm going to keep that much longer going on the year because I liked it. It weren't a bad one. And maybe I'm be in the best shape that I've ever been.
Yeah, that's like I'm not going to make that a main goal of mine next year because whenever I focus too much on my body, I get annoyed with myself and I fail, then I give up. And that actually didn't happen this time.
Ooh.
What happened this time was I got upset for different reasons and my mindset just flunked. So all I've been doing for the past month is getting my mental health back up straight.
Which is a very
hard it's a vital thing to do. But for me next year, I want to focus more on my hobbies. Like I did this year, I want to continue that pace. Like, obviously, my goals next year will be focusing on season 2 of BarCast. I want to record an album next year.
Ooh.
I've finished 10 songs now. That is enough for an album.
It is indeed.
So, by the end of summer next year, I want to have recorded an album. or at least officially recorded some tracks.
Yeah, that sounds like a good target.
And I want to be able to like work towards like making Twitch into like more of a paid hobby. Like I'm already an affiliate, but I want to see if I can make it like start working on getting regular income so I can start saving up for new things, which will help the channel grow. Basically, I'm going to be really myself orientated next year,
which is very.
I don't know how much longer COVID's going to last for. So I might as well maximize the time I have without people as much as I can.
Yeah. I mean, that is actually one good thing about this COVID thing, because it's like, if you think about it, if you're still friends with people now, despite not seeing them for me, and then you can go back and talk to them. That's the good thing about this. You take it away and be like, if the people leave you because you haven't seen them every day or talked to them every day, you can't really call them your friends.
Exactly.
Friends are meant to be the ones that you can go without seeing for ages.
Yeah. I also, speaking of friends and seeing people, I also plan on being able to lift you with a bear hug when we're allowed to hug people again.
Our first time meeting.
Not just first time meeting. First time we're allowed to actually, like, no restrictions, you can hug people. Because I haven't had a good bear hug since I saw you in March. That was the last time I had a bear hug. And I was like, the weekend before COVID or the weekend before that?
I think so, yeah. It was something, because it was before like the 11th, so it was like almost the first week of March.
Yeah, I haven't had a good bear hug since then. And I'll tell you what, Mr. Chappel, I am missing it like frig.
Oh, I get that. No, it does. It is. I think our bear hugs are legendary. They really are.
I've got friends who I haven't seen for a while, and friends I haven't been able to hug. And basically, I need to see you first, because I think the excitement of being able to hug everyone again, I need to make sure I get all my strength out on you, because you can and everyone else.
I'm the test dummy, basically.
Yeah.
I'm the test dummy, the one that can take it.
Yeah, because I got friends who I will bear hug, and if I do it too much, I will break them, bless them.
Want me to go? How did you go? I got a bear hug.
That's a stupid death.
Oh, I love all this.
Yeah, but like, no, just some people I need to hug.
I get that.
They have been warned. So this will be consensual. I am not just randomly there hugging.
Just get the city crier to be like, ding, ding, Mr. Phillips is out. Ding, ding, you've been warned. But no, that would be good. That would be. I mean, that's another thing about this. Like with like Christmas and all this kind of things in the next year now. What's weird for me is I've almost gone back in history, like the times like town criers and stuff. I've mentioned a lot more of that. Whereas years ago, you'd ask me, and I'd be away like with like Star Wars and thinking like all the stuff with like blasters, jetpacks, and all that. But it's weird how you can go from when you were young to be like future, and then when you get older, like you change what you like. So I like the more medieval time. Like if I could be a shipbuilder, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, build the Oro Jackson.
Oh,
that's a One Piece reference. I didn't think I'd throw in. But yeah,
in a while since we mentioned One Piece.
Yeah, I think for you next year, once you're allowed to travel freely again, I think it'll be really good for you to go to Denmark. There's a town in Denmark called Ribe, and it's a Viking town, and it's just got Viking museums in it. I think you would love it. So I think that's what, maybe not next year, maybe the year after.
Well, once everything's calmed down and we've seen what's going on with the whole government of like travel, whatever it may bring.
But yeah. So what we want to ask our audience now, if you could pop it in the comments, is do you guys have any New Year's plans? Like New Year's resolutions, I should say. Do you guys have any New Year's resolutions?
Like, it would be interesting to find out.
Let us know in the comments below. If you like our content, please consider supporting us on Ko-fi.
So, this, as you all know, obviously this is officially the last of our podcast for season 1. And it's been amazing from where we consider we came from, because if you have seen our channel, we made before we made the podcast official, we were planning this for so long.
Yeah, we did like the first video on the Bar Chats channel back in 2019 in the spring, and it took us about 15 or 16 months before the first podcast episode came out.
Such an adventure.
But since that podcast came out, over the past 27 weeks, I believe I worked out to be, we have been able to do a once every other week release of our podcast episodes. And we have also, with one bonus Halloween special. And these past half a year has just been so fun for us.
It has indeed. It really has. And the thing is, it's like from where we were coming from with the channel, we've mentioned it before, we didn't know what our main content was.
And to be honest, we still don't.
No.
Our main content at the moment is the podcast. But that's just because of COVID.
Yeah.
But we will continue to make this podcast, even though this season's ending. We will be back for a season 2.
Oh yeah.
You can't put us down now.
No.
We do have plans for bar chats, more than just the podcast.
Oh, the amount of ideas that we have, and it's just ready to become. It's ready for us to start doing it. It's just, let's see about this vaccine and let's see if it lets us out more.
Yeah. Once, things have been lifted, tears are gone. Once we can see each other again, I've already got 3 videos I've got the layout for. I just need to be able to have Mark in my flat to do it.
We do. We have good plans, and we are looking forward to be able to make it as well. And also, we're going to want feedback.
Yeah.
Because we do need feedback, and the content we want to produce. I mean, originally, the BarCast itself became our main key of working on, because we had some solid ground people that were supporting us.
Yeah.
And we've never shut up about them.
No. Honestly,
everyone knows, and they've even been on the podcast.
The main vocal point for us, even though he wasn't vocal on social media, but to us personally, was the guest from the previous episode, Glenn. And you might have heard in the previous episode, he had our social media on refresh every day for a year and a bit until we did. And then he messaged us he messaged me because he didn't actually know Mark then.
No.
He messaged me going, "Are you going to do something?" And but without him and his girlfriend, Natalie, who was, she's been with us on the Halloween special. She's done the graphics. She's done so much for our channel in both actual work and just support for us. This season would not have been possible. And of course, we have to thank our other guests. We've had Luke, Max, and Scott, who have just been brilliant, I think.
Oh, they have. They really have. And it's bringing people into a podcast. It's not easy. It's not. It's a different experience, because we're talking, you can hear us, but we can't necessarily see you guys, and it's different speaking to a camera or your screen than it is to actually somebody or in a bar, for example.
Yeah, we've always wanted. I had a comment, a piece of feedback midway through, saying our podcast was like a friendly discussion of older gentlemen that you'd get on like a talk show sort of thing. And and I've been told we need to think about our target audience. But I quite like the fact that we've taken like a more mature approach to things. And that's always like, it may not be the right sort of approach for our topics, but I like that it's our own little thing.
Yeah. It's more of like the casual conversations that you would have
In a bar.
Then it would be like, woo, woo, woo. Welcome everybody. We can do that in our other content.
All right, so we call it a bar because bars are a bit more civil. We're not talking pub talk. We're talking bar talk, and if you know the difference, you know what I'm talking about.
And there is a difference. God, there is a difference.
But obviously, speaking about all these amazing people, Mark, I want to know over the past 14 episodes, what have been your favourite bits?
Oh God, some of the things that have never made it through to our podcast, like some of the intros that I have done, some of the endings I've done, the randomness that has just come up, I like because they're funny because they don't make it into the cast, and it's just funny because there's sometimes Chris is away doing something and the record button's still on, and this is me, that this is random thing, and like Chris can hear me. He's just letting me go on my monologues, which is just I'm spinning around in the chair and everything. They're some of the bits I enjoy and we've worked on. Other than that, our guests, when we've had guests on, it's been so much fun because it's an element that you don't know, because we don't talk before it's done. We have a rough idea like what we want, some of the themes, if we do, but we just talk as normal. It's not staged. It's not made.
It's not scripted.
Yeah, and the Halloween one, when we first did dress up, is something that I'm planning on doing more, and I loved it to pieces. And some of the things I did, like with the lights and everything, and it's like even when I did like the shadow thing, I just spent like 5 minutes at one point just playing around, moved the camera up, and it was at light level. They're the bits that I've enjoyed. It's the unknown I enjoy, and even though I like to have a guide of I know what we're doing, I also like it if it's a fun thing and I don't know.
When it comes to a guide, I know for you pretty much like, you just want to know the topics and you go from there.
Yeah.
That's your guide. You just want to, what are we talking about in this bit? Okay, let's work with that. So I can understand, but I can agree with you that the guests have been some of my favourite bits.
Oh, yeah.
And even though they have been cheesy as heck sometimes, I have really enjoyed doing the jingles at the end of the episodes. Well, like whether you do them or I do them, they've always been like sometimes a bit serious, sometimes quite silly, on the fly script. Well, I wouldn't say scripted, but a little bit planned. Like they've always been fun.
Oh, they have been, and they've always just been jest. And if we've ever wanted to use it against each other before, we can just be like, "Oh, I remember this jingle," and you just play it and be like, "No,
not this one." And my other, it's really hard to pin down an exact favorite bit. But I can always say that, like, we have done this over a variety of weeks. We have done this in a variety of mental states. Like we did a few episodes, like episode 7, which I remember was the mental health episode we did in September, October. That was really during my low point. But it still picks me up. Like doing this podcast, even though sometimes, because I do all the editing, sometimes it does get a bit on top of me, but I always enjoy doing the recording. Like the process of recording an episode for me is a lot of fun because I never know what Mark's going to say.
Which is like 50-50, because from a standpoint, it can be sometimes good. He edits it. Half the content doesn't make it.
It's not half. It's not half. I do the editing. I know it's not half.
No, not everything makes it in.
No.
I will go on to something else, but I can also bring it back later, which is a weird thing. And I'll get exactly to the same point that I would have left one on. But another thing, though, is the ideas which we are coming up for season 2 is what I want to ask people that are watching this, if they could comment on if there's topics that you want us to maybe revisit, or is there anything that you actually want us to talk about? Could be fantasy, could be real life situation stuff, but I want to know what people are interested in talking about.
It can be serious, it can be silly. Will you, providing it's not rude, as in offensive, we don't really have a cutoff. We are open people, and we are open to most topics.
Yeah, we're not going to judge. We won't judge on what someone says, and sometimes people just need to hear a topic talked about. And the best thing is, we are completely outside of what some of you might think is interesting conversation, and we can always look it up and talk about it and our own opinion.
Yeah, and if we need to bring in a special guest to help us, we will. Like the politics episode, we brought in our friend who talks politics, which is why we did not talk a lot that episode. We let him take the reign. But we will happily discuss things. So yeah, another comment. What do you want to hear in season 2? After discussing our best bits, I forgot what I was going to say. It's back. So after speaking of our best bits, what has been some of your favourite things that have come from this podcast, or come from just bar chats in general? Because I know mine.
I think mine is probably the more confidence of talking to a webcam, because for myself, it's new for me to do. I mean, most of my industries that I've worked in, I've done stuff face to face. But when it comes to, don't get me wrong, I'm not bad with technology, but when it comes to the recording, the editing, and how, like, the positioning of, like, the cameras and stuff, it's new to me, because I've always been in person, not through a recording or anything. And it's been brilliant working with Chris. I mean, pretty much we're like brothers. But he's been brilliant guidance, and he's been very supportive of me. And if I can do anything to ease his burden as such, with the work, I know I can ask him, and basically we have the time. I've got all the time for him. He's got all the time for me, in a way. Yeah. And this project that we've both worked on has only strengthened our bond and where we come from. And it is different. It's never easy. And there's ideas that I've got about other stuff on social media that I've talked to Chris about doing, and it sounds interesting. It's me making a fool of myself in half the content anyway. But it's a bit of fun, and that's what life is.
Yeah, life is too short to be taken seriously.
Oh yeah. Considering what I'm like with yourself, Max, and Scott. I mean, there's no filter half the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a picture on the screen of one of our lads' nights, and it literally just indicates the mix of our friend group. Like, it shows our personalities quite well, especially since you're like at 40 degrees.
I didn't expect this picture to ever make it onto.
No, I think it
wall,
explains our group quite well and why we're the way we are.
Oh, it does. It's a good one, and it does tell us, and
So,
you know how chilled it is.
But for me, one of my favorite things that have come from this is the Discord we have. Like,
that is a fair point.
Like, it's brought us this small community. I say small at the moment. It probably will grow, but it's given us a way to contact different people and more people, which normally we wouldn't talk to on a regular.
No, and it's the interesting thing because, as you said, and they've come from your streams.
Yeah, it started because of the bar, and it's allowed us to what's great is we're just able to talk about whatever we need to talk about. Good days, bad days. Like, I know during my badge site, I requested people, what songs do you listen to when you ain't feeling too good? And I had an abundance of goes, oh, you should try this, you should try this. The Discord server has actually been really useful. And at the moment, it's mostly filled with people I've known. But lately, we've had a couple of people I don't know, and you don't know, join.
Oh, God, yeah. And it's been interesting.
Yeah, and just watching it grow is going to be nice.
So, obviously, you've got our Discord. But what else would you say, Chris, that you've liked about
I think for me, it's enhancing my skills. Like you with the you're learning how to camera positioning and all that. For me, it's editing skills because I've never had to edit these sorts of videos before. Obviously, with my personal channel, I've had to do a little bit of editing, but I've never had to crop bits out in the middle of a video, make sure it lines up, put in transitions, put in other things, overlay images. I've never had to do that before. So it's all the new skills I've slowly picked up, and it's skills I'm looking forward to learning more of as I go. I only just figured out how to do frigging credits on this software after the Halloween special.
Oh, that's still a good episode.
So we've only had 4 episodes where we actually put credits in and thank people for stuff.
Yeah, because it is a different thing. Because if you think about it, doing reviews on stuff and anything on websites and that, it seems easy because there's a system for it. But as you said, we'd edit in and do it this way, and would it be in a podcast that people will listen to? It's different. You don't actually know how it would work.
And there's we've talked about things that we've enjoyed, but as 3 things that have happened to our podcast, which other people have done, which I didn't expect to happen when we started. I think you know the 3 I'm going to say.
I think I do.
But you want me to clarify, don't you?
I do indeed.
Well, first off, I'm going to mention Max doing the intro we use. He came on, we asked him to do a jingle, Mark and I do. And he went, well, I don't really sing, so I'd rather not. Can I use instruments? I went, well, yeah, sure, you don't have to sing. We're not going to force you to do anything. And okay, I'll do something. I'll come back to you. And he came back with this 90-second clip of music, which is our voices edited into this piece of music. Did not expect that. That was great. And that since episode 7, that has been our introduction. Actually, I think it was from episode 8. It was our introduction. I showed it to you in episode 7.
Yes.
Um, the the big one, I'm gonna have to say, is all our logos and banners and
Oh, yeah.
images. Natalie, you have been a superstar for our channel in
Indeed.
graphics
And
wise.
it's amazing. It's when I first saw it, I think I was on the ship and like Chris sent me a picture and it blew me away. I didn't really know what to say. It was a rare thing when I'm speechless. Indeed.
Yeah. And then the last thing was when Liam approached us and wanted to animate it. Animate our logo.
Oh, that caught me off guard because that was over, I think it was Twitter than it was the Instagram. Cause
Yeah.
we were talking and that's where it came from. And Twitter was a new playground for me.
Yeah, because you've not really used much of Twitter.
No, Instagram, yeah. I use Instagram more than I have like Facebook, for example. But Twitter's different and interesting. But no, that was from basically the logos to the animation was so quick. So quick.
Yeah, but those are the 3 things that have happened this season that we generally couldn't expect happening the way they did. And we are so happy that they happened. And the other thing that I didn't expect happening, we've mentioned them, but how well we had special guests. Like, Mark and I always thought about using special guests. But we didn't expect it to hit off the way we did.
No, not to the level.
No.
Because how do you think about it when you bring someone on, like special guests? You've seen it in talk shows. They come in for maybe a segment of like 10 minutes and that's it.
Yeah, but for us, we thought, well, if we're going to have these people on, we're going to have them as like the main feature of the episode. So generally they've done like the whole episode with us, which I have to say on Zoom without a business account or a premium account is really annoying with the 40-minute time limit. The amount of times I've had to close and reopen. And remember to hit record. You'll see that. You'll see that on a different video at some point.
But it's those things. It's interesting because it's like, obviously, my advice, because obviously this is our project that we've done. If anyone is interested in doing it, don't feel like you have to go out and buy the latest gear. It's not your core aspect of the most expensive gear. And when me and Chris were working on the channel with the original clip, we did watch a video of like how someone said the content you provide is what's going to keep people.
Yeah.
We could have green screens, we could have lights flashing, stuff.
And one day we might.
But if we had that straight away, it wouldn't be as personal as our project and how it's been built. So my advice is there are ways of doing it. Like Chris has said, with the Zoom call things, when you're on your own, you've got unlimited. But when you've got other people, it is hard. And some people might not have the money to throw like the 20 to like 40 to 60 quid on like a membership. And there are ways around it. And if people did want to know how we've done things, do ask. Because we can also give feedback back to you guys.
Yeah, we're quite happy to be open and talk to you. And what we've learned about the podcast and what we've learned about having a Discord and that communication, it makes everything so much better.
100%.
Like when we've had special guests, we've always made sure to be clear. Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna record at this time, so we want you on about here. Like we give them like a good week or so notice, sometimes longer. This is our first season. Next season we want to have some new guests, but we're slightly running out of people we know.
Yes.
that we want to invite on. I've got a couple more people, but really we're going to start looking for people we don't know.
Which will be
Which,
interesting.
it's going to set mine and Mark's anxiety off a little. There are people who I would love to have on a podcast one day, but they are big people. Like, they're people I admire and people I would love to ask questions. But they are like, we need to be bigger for that to happen. But I'm not fussed about being big or not. I would just love to have fun.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what I've loved most about BarCast. It has been the brilliant experience and the fun I've had making it.
Oh God, it has.
If you're watching, you can see genuinely see a smile on my face most of the time.
It has been such an insane journey from when it's come, and the content we do produce. And the other thing as well, obviously, it is every other week because I'm at work for like away. That's the main reason why I live out at sea every other week basically.
Yeah. So the way we record these podcasts is Mark works Wednesday to Wednesday of all things. So
I know.
So what happens is Mark will get home on the Wednesday. I give him a few days to recover because he works very hard, and I appreciate he needs a couple of days just to get back into life on land routines. And then on the Monday night or the Tuesday, depending on our schedule, sometimes a Sunday, and if he's off, sometimes a Wednesday, we will record. And then that gives me the rest of the week to edit, and then the episode will be on the Saturday while he's back at work.
So if you want to know why our uploads are in that way, it's my fault.
Yeah, it's smart scheduling.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
But it's also part of the reason it took so long for BarCast to get rolling.
That's actually a fair point. Yeah, it was because of what was going on between me changing in between.
But folks, that is all we're going to have time for. I can't believe it's come to the end of the season finale of season 1. We have to thank you from the bottom of our guts. We would say heart, but our guts are bigger. So it means more. So we thank you from the bottom of our guts for being with us through all 14 episodes of BarCast. We want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, happy whatever you celebrate. Or just, have a good day.
Yeah. Have fun.
Have a you day.
Yeah. That's the main thing. Look after yourselves. If anything this year has taught yourself, to look after yourself and have the time that you need.
Yeah.
So have your cup of hot chocolate, have your glass of wine, have mead like a Viking, and have a good time, because we're here to live. We're not here to not live. Unless you fancy being a zombie, you never know what might happen. It might be interesting.
Some people do live as zombies, but that's a discussion for season 2. But folks, with lots of love and a very seasonal greetings, I was Chris, that was Mark, he's the gamer, I'm the singer, and we will catch you in season 2. Bye.